Okay, I don't have a noise this week. We just insert Nika screaming really loudly because Splatoon's here, and then it will just suffice for that, okay? Uh, What's going on, everybody? We are back again. The No Cooldown boys are back for yet another installment of the No Cooldown podcast. We're at episode 19. You know what I'm saying? Well into legal territory, which is crazy. You can be tried as adults, so we're gonna keep it, as calm as we possibly can out here. But we here, man. WenEazy, what's going on with you this week, dog?
Can't complain. Had a pretty solid week. Some pretty big news. I didn't think this week was actually going to be as crazy as it was, but so we got some pretty good things cooked up for you guys.
Like, oh, what? Yeah, like a lot of good stuff. Good stuff apparently sprouted out, bro.
Yeah.
I streamed in the middle of a week, like a weekday. I'm like, I don't do that no more. What is this? If you were like, yo, who is this? They hit me with a Chris move. Is this a fake video? Head ass? Like, but it's different, man. It's different. Looking like a good weekend, and we got a lot of news to cover. But we got a couple things to warm up with. First, of course, you know how we do. So, you ready, sir?
I am ready.
Let's get this money. Let's get it. So first and foremost, with the Overwatch 2 beta coming in the next week, we're starting to get some trickles of gameplay showcasing all the new changes that are coming to characters and different looks at the latest build. Now, we saw a creator by the name of Kxngviii jump on this early, showcasing some changes to Orisa and Doomfist change to a tank main. So, I mean, there's a lot of news coming through. I mean, so it's Overwatch now. I know a certain someone in this chat, I'm not gonna name names, WenEazy dropped a real banger video about a potential, Overwatch competition. And I just want to know, man, what you feeling about, these Overwatch 2 changes? What's going on?
So with me, I'm realizing so I made the Gundam video, and literally after the Gundam video, I finally broke down and went and checked out all the information that was coming out on Overwatch 2, because it was blowing up my timeline, but I didn't pay too much attention, because at the end of the day, for me to say that this game is going to be good, I have to play it myself. But from what I have seen, Overwatch 2, it might be different enough that it doesn't necessarily have to compete with Gundam. They changed it from a 6v6 to a 5v5. A lot of the characters got a rework. Not a lot of them, but very significant characters like the tanks got reworks. It's a very interesting time right now for Overwatch. I think that they've changed enough to be pretty solid in terms of going up against Gundam. But right now, if it was Overwatch 1 compared to Gundam, I think Gundam would have to take the cake, because it just does a lot of things differently in a way that makes all the characters fun to play. Whereas if you're playing Overwatch, sometimes you got to play a character you don't like because you need that on the team. But with the changes that they've made, I don't know. It's looking like a really good time to be a fan of shooters. The hero shooter genre is definitely looking a little bit more robust these days.
Hey, listen, I can't lie to you, man. They trying to top up. I saw some of these changes. I mean, Doomfist actually looked pretty cool. Like the way he changed his
tank. Oh my god, that's the best thing to happen.
It's kind of wild, but he can actually launch himself as a projectile. He has good charges on on some of his moves. And I'm seeing this mechanic pop up a lot more. I'm not sure if it was present in Overwatch 1, but the knockback damage. If you hit him close enough to a wall, it'll take extra damage, and they'll be slowed or they'll be stunned off of a wall hit. So I'm they're playing really closer to the spatial awareness in maps. I think could be a really cool mechanic. I'm not sure if it was in Overwatch 1.
It was. So Doomfist in Overwatch 1 was a problem. At times. So he was very much like in Gundam, Barbados, which was the combo character in that game, where they would hit you with one move, and by the time you're able to react, you're already dead. He had movement similar to this, but I feel now his movement is more, it has more of a purpose, because he was basically your assassin. He would jump in there, hit you with the abilities, and then you'd be up out of there. But if he hit you with a charged punch and you hit a wall, if it was a fully charged punch, a lot of characters died with one hit. A lot of characters would just, because it's just it does a lot of damage, but you're stagnant and it's a big audio cue like this. But if they see you charging it up, you're done. You're gonna get shot up. But now that he's a tank, it changes things a lot. One, for me as a tank main, I can actually play the character, because back in the day, DPS queues were horrendous. But he looks really good as a tank. His abilities, I feel were changed in the proper way for his new role. From what I've seen so far, people were saying that he's going to be a top contender in the tank role. People were saying that he's going to be a really, really strong pick. And it's very interesting to see because he got collision based abilities. Orisa was another tank.
Mm-hmm.
She has a lance that when it connects to the wall, it also does a lot more damage.
Yep.
It's interesting to see the differences that they're making with this game. I'm really, really excited because it doesn't look like Overwatch 1. And honestly, I think that that's a really good thing because I feel like we need to move away from it. There are certain things though that I'm not still too big a fan of. I'm just gonna have to
Mm.
see for myself.
Yeah.
But overall, it's looking better than what I thought it was gonna look like before. Fingers crossed that we get the beta and I can do a full rundown on my opinions on both games, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. 100%. Yeah. We'll figure it out in time, man. But for now, you know what I'm saying? Being the hater and training that I am, Gundam Evolution all day, baby, until I hear otherwise. Let's go. Let's
I
go.
feel that. I feel that.
All right, man. Let's move on to the next one, man. So, I definitely think we should have probably had niggas on for this segment, but he's here in spirit. He's here in spirit.
He's always here in spirit.
Facts.
Hating.
That's a fact, though. That's where the hater and trainer comes from. But no, for real though, we finally got some noise back from the Splatoon team over Splatoon 3. So they showcased a new trailer earlier today, showing off turf war gameplay and a whole bunch of fresh stuff sprinkled throughout the whole trailer. It's set to drop September 22nd, 2022, and the Nintendo people are ready to splat again, man. It's open season right now. People are loving the new trailer. They're taking it in. I seen a couple new things like a bow. What'd you make of this trailer, man?
So since both of us are we're friends with Nijis, but he has not showed us the Splatoon ways yet.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to convince him to get a Splatoon boot camp for us one of these days because I think it would be
For real?
hilarious. Especially if the third one comes out, that would be such a funny day.
Oh yeah.
But the trailer actually looks pretty sick. The game actually looks new, even though I don't think they really did anything to the graphics. It just looks like super polished for some reason. I was just like, oh, okay, this feels
Yeah.
like
No,
next
you're not
gen
wrong.
kind of. I play a bit of Splatoon like on my free time. Turf War is always fun. The thing is that like I'm so not versed with the space that like these all those weapons are basically new to me.
Mhm.
But I know that in the regular Splatoon 2, those are like abilities attached to different weapons. But it looks really fun. I really, really hope that they did something about the internet because I know that the lag I heard is a big issue in
Yes.
Splatoon. But it looks really, really good. Like it looks really fun. Again, the hero shooters are really coming out. They're really out here. Like all the fun, wacky shooters are making a play this year.
I'm telling you, it's like the alternative shooter part. The alternative shooter games are again they're making a strong push, man. And I think it
Yeah.
comes at a right time where games like the usual big three, the Halos, the Battlefields, they're not usually hidden. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like other joints are kind of focused on being like more towards Elden Ring and third person action. There's been a little bit of a gap for first person shooter or shooter games in general, honestly, and making that that stands and kind of filling that hole in terms of the industry and where games have been going. And again, with Gundam Evolution, you see with Overwatch 2 possibly making its head its presence known, and with Splatoon 3, it's like, okay, listen, they're trying to really again push that need and push that demand that might be missing from the gaming industry at current.
Yeah, and it's interesting because
Yeah.
okay, you're there. You're there.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is,
Oh yeah. So the interesting thing is that last year we were waiting for all these shooters to come out. Like last year we were like, yo, the new Halo, the new Battlefield, like all this stuff was coming out, and we were like, oh man, shooter, it's gonna be a great time for shooters. It is April. I'm not playing Battlefield. I'm not playing Halo. I'm still playing Apex, and I just started playing Fortnite. So it's like all these things that all the shooters that we thought we were gonna be playing right now, they didn't even make it out. So hopefully Overwatch and Splatoon and Gundam, they capitalize on this breath of fresh air that they have because we still have yet to hear anything about Call of Duty, so they might have a really good head start for this coming year.
Hey, listen, That's a fact. That's a fact. And again, dropping at a really advantageous time, the end of summer, beginning of the fall, September 22nd, before any major things drop. To my knowledge, I think the earliest we've seen probably like Call of Duty or Battlefield is like October. Halo probably drops a little bit earlier, but Halo's not dropping any new game anytime soon. It's just gonna be content, like small DLC drops. So again, Splatoon could be a real big splash, you know, depending on again how the reception is, and this timing seems right. Seems that stuff are lining up, man.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
For sure. And lastly, for the warm up, real direct in connection with some other news that we heard this week, which we will get to later in the trailer trove. Crystal Dynamics are looking to bring the thunder with the announcement of the mighty Thor, Jane Foster, as the next playable hero. Now, it's not coming soon. It's not going to be the next update, but they did announce that it will be coming at some point down the line after some updates. It's on the way. We're gonna get Jane Foster as Thor in Marvel's Avengers. So my one question: will this bring back the buzz for Marvel's Avengers?
Honestly, I thought the game was over. Like,
oh my god!
I didn't know they were still doing things for that game. I thought we were done. No, like I'm like I don't. Who's really sitting here like, ah man, you know what this game needs? The female Thor. Like, no, the game needs a better game. Like the whole game is not good. No, adding another character isn't gonna change that. I'm sorry. Like, what is like best case scenario? Best case scenario. Jane Foster Thor is the best, coolest, most fun character to play. Not all four of us can play her at the same time. Only one person is gonna be having fun for this entirety of the game. I'm sorry.
It's not wrong.
Pack it up. Just pack it up. Just pack it up. Like we're done. We're good. Like just pack it up. Like we don't need anything more from you. You've done enough.
Hey, all I want to say is, and that's all we got for the warm up. Thanks, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate that. Let's go to the main topics for the day. Let's get into the main topics for the day, man. Oh man, first and foremost, wow. We've heard a lot from the Netflix brand over the past week, and needless to say, they're getting hounded for a whole host of recent decisions, discoveries, and happenings across the land. To run down the list here, we got Netflix canceling several anticipated animated series and having reported creative constraint over oncoming show developers, including Nimona, a Bone comic adaptation, which was in development for years now. People were really excited for it. Toil and Trouble, and more shows. And they were apparently holding all animated projects to the standard of Boss Baby in terms of production and numbers. Secondly, they're opening up development lines for ad-based subscription tiers within the platform after a long-standing exclusion of that feature from Netflix. And lastly, after the first loss of subscribers in God knows how long, 200K subscribers dropped down in Q1. They are set to lose over 2 million subscribers in Q2, and they're receiving a massive knock to their stock price as of late. So, damn, one, and two, what's going on with Netflix, man? What's going on with them?
Lack of good content is really, I think, what really brings it. It kind of like comes down to the issue is that Netflix has to compete with Hulu, which is owned 40% of Hulu, or I think more than that at this point, is owned by Disney. So Disney owns like a big amount of Hulu. They have a lot of money to get shows on. On top of that, they make money off of advertisements because they have ads in it. So it's a money maker. So they have a lot of money to throw around when it really comes down to the itty bitty, like the gritty of it. The only way Netflix could compete was with really good original programming, because they can't, it's their programming, so Hulu can't pay to have it or whatever. And even if they did, they'd still be making money. That's the issue, is that Netflix just isn't making good enough shows to fight capitalism, is what I think is coming down to. And that's why we saw like the prices go up and people are not happy about it, because you raise the prices and now people are looking at it like, is Good Moms, or whatever that show is called, good enough to validate this price increase every month? Like, really think about it. What was the last show that you watched on, like the last show I watched on Netflix was The Ultimatum. Before that, it was quiet. And the fact is, like, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you, I'm not paying $20 a month to watch The Ultimatum neither. Like, I'm not, it's just not that good of a show. So I think that ad-based subscriptions, even though it's kind of shocking, I think it'll actually be a good thing, because I wouldn't pay $20 a month to watch commercial free ultimatum. But $7, maybe a month or two to catch up on some shows or whatever. Yeah, I don't see why not. Like that's what a lot of people did with Hulu at first. Is they were like they'd get Hulu for like a month or two, watch a few shows before they had like the catalog they do now, and now it's gonna be Netflix's turn, is what it's looking like. It's like you might become the you might become the secondary because there's just not a lot on the platform, especially with everybody else coming out with their own platforms. Like there's just not enough money to go around anymore.
There's a lot of stuff, going around here. And for Netflix, I think a part of this is self-inflicted wounds. Yep. There's a point where they had to understand that with their stock price getting bigger and more stiffer competition with different services coming through, that they have to, one, top load with original content, and two, add features that people actually want. And again, be a profitable model in the right ways. Now they're looking for cost-cutting solutions and things where they can shave down a little price here, doing that externally. They're placing that on the customer instead of figuring out places internally where they can probably cut out some things. Maybe they are, but the majority of what we're seeing here, their hunt for putting down password sharing. That's also another big one that happened over the past couple of weeks. They're a huge ass witch hunt that they're starting up to get rid of password sharing or reduce it greatly. That's been happening. I believe we did mention it in the past during the podcast. They're trying to, root that out to get some money back. They're trying to, again, raise prices to get more from subscribers off of the same level of content. And they're trying to add some ads. They're trying to put ads in. Now, of course, it might lower the price of the self-subscription, but now you're kind of going against the base model that you offer, that you're kind of promising customers. It's like you're switching up. Why are you changing up now? So for me, all of their solutions that have been massively broadcasted so far look to a sense of how can we put this on the customer to get more off of them, instead of how can we, again, refine our process internally for one, and provide more value to customers that justify us doing some of these things like the prices and whatnot. Because I mean, listen, I'm excited for Stranger Things. I'm excited for Stranger Things season 4. There's like a couple of things, that are there I like, but there's not enough to like make me say, hey, yo, out and out, I will choose you over another platform, like 100%. There's nothing there. There's nothing there that makes me say I'm a loyalist to Netflix, especially with the future on looking. You see how Amazon's been moving. They've been purchasing projects left, right, and center, and they're top loading their content like crazy for the future. Now they're probably like what, 4th place at this point, behind probably 4th, fifth, maybe 4th, 5th. Like again, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and HBO. Like a 5th or 6th. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they're top loading stuff to move forward, and they have a niche set of projects that get people on the platform. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see Netflix moving to this sense. And on to this first point we were talking about, especially on the animated studios front, if you wanted to top load your stuff with content, why are you erasing and why are you getting rid of and canceling projects that people anticipate? You know what I'm saying? 2, could bring in a lot of money that you don't know exactly the potential for. And 3, basing it off of probably one of the most weirdly commercially successful projects, whatever. Why are you basing everything on Boss Baby? That's also my question. Why are you basing everything on Boss Baby, dog? Because nothing should be entirely based off Boss Baby. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. I'm no rocket scientist, but okay, maybe it did a lot of numbers. That's cool, but not everything is going to be based in that format. Like, they want everything to be modeled after that. Like, it's not gonna go down that way. And again, you see it tied to another issue. If there's no immediate commercial impact that has like a level of a Boss Baby or something like that, or a major show, they axe it right there, season 1. Cowboy Bebop, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to say, what is it? The Get Down. Like, there's so many shows and original content that were that were quality, and people wanted to see, or at least wanted to see further more of. And then they just get cut right off at the kneecaps because you didn't want, anything. And side note, I'm not giving any revisionist history to Cowboy Bebop because it wasn't that crazy, but I'm speaking more to the Get Down. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't give anybody a chance to even flourish as a platform. You didn't even give your original content any chance to flourish. It's either, hey, listen, we won't even give you the chance to sink or swim like that. If you don't hit this certain level immediately, it's a wrap for you. And I think that also contributes to the fact that, hey, listen, you're making so many, scared shows. How many iterations of the ultimatum and, the circle can you make before it gets real boring and dry? You know what I mean? There's so much stuff here. And again, dive it even deeper. The creators on this side that are coming into Netflix studios, they're like, hey, listen, we thought we come in with a lot of creative freedom and then we had some stuff to work with here, but you're kind of boxing us in a little bit. People are saying they're getting boxed in by Netflix producers and Netflix higher ups to make something that they probably don't want to make. And everything is just pointing to the sign of Netflix has really stopped thinking about or stopped focusing on or making priority the quality of product and the customer experience. And that's what's causing them to get huge stock blows. That's what's causing all these 200K to projected 2 million people drops in subscribers. And that's what's causing all this movement to other platforms. I'm telling you, it's like I'm not going to compare it to anything specifically. I'm just going to say this. If there's certain issues that HBO Max needs to fix, it's just their UI, certain experiences, and keeping to promote that content that they're making that's first party, that's their original stuff. If they fix up certain issues, they on your ass, Netflix. Like it's a wrap. Disney Plus been on your ass because they got so many original shows, the MCU, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Hulu has got so many included packages. It's on your ass because it has syndicated content and it has sports, it has so many different avenues. If Netflix can't realize the fact that they need to focus on creating hard-hitting, first party content that's native to their platform first and foremost, and again, create a user experience that justifies any price hike or any move, people are gonna automatically say, yo, what's the point of me even staying here? You know what I mean? I feel like people, again, customers they'd be able to justify the purchase if you had something to stand on. But right now, it looks like the pipeline's kind of dry and like it's not as substantial. Like, listen, after Stranger Things season 4, what are we getting? You know what I'm saying? What's going on? I can make a new email and do a free trial and just watch these shows right here real quick and then leave. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's a lot of stuff here. But I know Netflix. People have been calling it for a little bit now. They're like, yo, listen, they're a couple moves away from getting their ass hawked. Like, they're getting hawked by HBO Max. They're getting hawked by Disney Plus, and it looks like this is like the first kind of big shot around the world of Netflix is it's not the market leader it once was, or it's not going to be in the future. Competition will be a lot closer than it thinks.
Yeah.
Man.
I completely agree.
Facts. And allegedly, I'm not getting rid of the password I found. Allegedly.
You can't prove shit.
Yeah, facts. You can't say nothing, bro. And I will be watching Stranger Things one way or another. On everything, man. But let's move on, man. Let's keep pushing forward. I'm gonna just be clear with this statement right here. All right. If there's anybody that's trying to make it in the in-game cosmetic race and like stake a claim for themselves, just pack it up, give it up. Don't do it anymore. Just stop. It's fine. Fortnite got it from here. They got the crown title. They are the best. So in this latest round of collaborations and just in-game inclusions, we got two heavy hitters, bruh. First and foremost, we got Moon Knight, which is white hot right now. No pun intended because of the white. Because he dropped episode 4 out of 6. You know what I'm saying? A lot of stuff is going crazy. Moon Knight's real hot in the streets. And the Wu-Tang Clan. The RZA, the Jizza, the Inspector Deck, you got all them, bro. What? They got the Wu-Tang Clan and Moon Knight. So again, going into specifics, for Moon Knight, you got the Moon Knight skin, the Mr. Knight skin, and then you got a pickaxe that's actually the 2 crescent knives that just kind of hit some, which is dope. That's actually pretty dope. And then for Wu-Tang, you got a whole set. You got a new loading screen. You got I'm about to say, man, I'm about to drop this whole story. The Wu-Tang Clan ain't like you got that as an emote. You have so many skins, pickaxes, gliders, so much spray. I think sprays, a whole bunch of skins. Like, bro, all right. I don't want to sound too excited over this, but like, yo, Wu-Tang is for the children, bro. Wu-Tang is for the children, and they there, bro. They in Fortnite. That's kind of crazy for me to even fathom. But talk about it, bro. What's going on,
bro? I like really just don't know. Like, I really don't expect shit from them anymore because I just can't understand. Like I never, again, if you would have asked me, I feel like every week we do this same scenario. If you would have asked me, I was gonna be playing a shooter with that is collabed with Wu-Tang, I'd be like, no. Like, why would that be in it? Like, they had their own video games. They cared about video games, yeah. But I was like, I didn't think we were gonna see Wu-Tang in anything for a long ass time. I thought that this is pretty dope. I'm a huge Wu-Tang fan.
Bro, they even got the Wu wear. They even got the Wu wear on the skin. They got the Wu wear.
And like the emote, I think and the thing is, in the game they have licensed music, so there's gonna be music in the game. Like, that's pretty sick, bro. Oh man, it's pretty nuts. shout outs to Fortnite. The moon, even though, and again, the Moon Knight skin is also pretty dope. I saw it yesterday and I was like, damn, this is pretty clean. Like, fuck, dude. Like, I really want to hate. Like, you can't hate this game anymore. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fucking cool.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, the last vestige, honestly, for me to hate on this game was having all building, and now the fact that they had no building as a permanent mode, there's nothing else. I mean, you can make the claim like, oh yeah, they still killed what's the name? They still killed what's it called? Paragon. They still killed Paragon, but now predecessors out there, and they're still kind of good. There's predecessors there. You know what I mean? It's like they kind of didn't kill it. It's okay now. We're gonna go revisit this history. You know what I mean? Like, they just gave it a new purpose. You know, it's just in the hands of somebody who'll take care of it now. You know, don't worry about it.
It's a pretty cool. Like, I mean, like I was just sitting here, like, it's really hard because I did love Paragon, but I'm just thinking, like, how much fun did I really have on Paragon? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
I had fun on Paragon. I'm not gonna care. I did have fun on Paragon, but still.
But now I'm not mad at Fortnite right now. It's really hard.
I actually need to go play Predecessor. That's a whole nother point in of itself. But in terms of Fortnite, man, like, they are such a force when it comes to this type of stuff. And it's like, yo, this snowball only gets bigger. Like, I don't know who's bigger that they can get next. At this point, they got to get Drake. Like, they got to get Drake to do a joint if he hasn't done one already. They're Travis Scott.
He has Drake music in the game. I don't think there's a Drake skin, but he does have music in the game.
There's nothing Fortnite can't touch right now. honestly, the end game is they get well, actually, no, let me not.
I already touched end game.
Yep, you're right, they already did. I'm like, they're literally like, they're Midas, bro. They're King Midas. Everything, every collab they touch turned to gold for real. Like, I don't understand how consistent they get with this stuff, but whatever outreach team that they do to reach out to these brands and make it happen, they are immaculate. They deserve a raise because they are so consistent with these drops. It makes no sense. It makes actually no sense. But yeah, man, consistent praise for Fortnite. Whoever thought I'd see today, bro? It's like a good month and a half now of straight praising Fortnite. This is a weird space. 2022 is weird. I don't know what to tell y'all, man. But shout out to Moon Knight. Shout out to the Wu-Tang Clan. Shout out to Wu-Tang Financial. You know what I'm saying? Diversify y'all bonds. And yeah, bro, I got to get back into it, man. I might play some this weekend, honestly. Holy hell. Man, moving on to a smaller story, which actually was also there. You know, in collab news, we're trying to, people are trying to catch up. People are trying to do their thing. So we got Call of Duty on this side. It seems that the island of Caldera is going to the Kaiju, as Vanguard players are going to get Operation Monarch on May 11th, which could see the entire lobby fight and or witness the Godzilla versus Kong fight in 4K. So apparently, again, monsters, the Kaiju are roaming the island. I don't know what drops are going to be involved in yet. We haven't got much details, but apparently King Kong and Godzilla are coming to Caldera in Call of Duty Vanguard, Call of Duty Warzone, whatever you want to call it. What do you feel about this, Wayne? What's going on?
Cool. Like,
yeah, I mean, I'm like, yeah, bro. It's not Wu-Tang, bro. I'm sorry, it's not Wu-Tang.
It's not a Travis Scott like performance, like it's just like this is cool. Like, this is cool that Call of Duty is like. The thing is, it's so hard because it's like, they're like so old. It feels like like the people working at Call of Duty are like 80 years old at how slow they're moving to things. It's like you have Fortnite's doing all these crazy events for their communities. You don't even really see it in Apex as much either. But like, you have like these big in-game events that everybody loves. Like, it's just a big event. Like when Fortnite deleted itself. Like, there's so many crazy things. But Call of Duty kind of has just been the same game, I feel like, for a long time. So like, now we're gonna see like a big kaiju fight. That's pretty sick, but like, how it really depends. I need to see the execution, because if everybody drops in and all they see is like a big screen and they're just watching the movie, I'm gonna laugh.
Nah, you know I don't think it'd be that. Now, I remember there was like an event where they shot something. I think they were shooting like a giant blimp. I think it was to reveal the next Call of Duty. I think it might have been Vanguard, but it was in Warzone. And they were kind of shooting at this blimp, and they had like a whole train. No, that's what it was. They were shooting an armored train, and everybody was kind of like involved in shooting this thing as it went along to different areas. It was shooting back at people, it was killing people. They have some capacity to make it actually very interactive. So if you can put, Godzilla and King Kong at certain points in the map, or, put their footprint somewhere, you can be able to shoot at one or shoot at the other and, pick a side in the lobby. That would actually be a pretty cool, way to turn it out. For me, I think it'd be really cool. Again, to me, not at the level as Fortnite, because Fortnite is just in a class of their own at this point. But this could be cool. This could be cool.
It could be cool. I don't think it's a bad thing at all.
Yeah.
I just gotta see them do it. Is really what it comes down to.
Facts. What the execution is gonna be. If it's like 100-player PvPvE, but you're facing a giant ass kaiju, then I don't mind it. But if it's just you watching it in the distance for like, maybe 5 minutes, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, it's wild. It's wild. But yeah, let's slide on to the next story. Wow, interesting. According to Bloomberg reports, Sega is gearing up to invest a lot of cash into the reboots for 2 major series from the past. That being Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio. So this seems to coincide with the first push in the Super Game initiative from Sega, which aims to expand revenue streams and online community presence, and joins a rumored Sega FPS game in this first wave of titles. Now, with the alleged plans to release the new Crazy Taxi revamp in the next 2 to 3 years, we could see some classics coming back. Now, I got a couple questions for you. You know what I'm saying? What you thinking about this? And I mean, you see the kind of the change of how people are trying to model themselves after like this Fortnite model again? Mentioned Fortnite for the 3rd time. Yeah. How do you see this? How do you see this kind of this initiative stuff changing for Sega?
I mean, like Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio are both really good games. I would love to see. I don't even know about reboots because I like the games a lot, but I don't know how they would stand the test of time these days because it's they're very simple games. So unless it's mobile, I don't know how people are really gonna take it. Because like if you have if you give a Fortnite kid this game, are they gonna enjoy themselves for driving around, picking people up and dropping people off? That's what I like Crazy Taxi, but I'm also like kind of I have an old soul, I guess.
Yeah.
Jet Set Radio is such a good game. That's just nuts. I think that would be an awesome game to reboot because we don't have really a Tony Hawk presence, and I feel like that was really the only thing that can compete with this game. This could be like nuts. I would love a reboot of Jet Set Radio. I would like a remaster of Crazy Taxi, personally, me. But I don't know. They could do something crazy. I don't really like building towards free to play because we're just not free to play. Just isn't like having a bunch of companies doing free to play the way that free to play wants you to pay for these games. Because like let's be honest, they want to get money out of us. It's just not really sustainable because they're gonna think that we're making free games, so we can make as many free to play games as we want, and people are gonna play it or whatever. Like that's not how this works. There's only a certain amount of money in the world. Your game will actually be free for a lot of people because a lot of people ain't gonna spend a battle pass on a Sega game when they're already paying for Apex, Call of Duty. Like there's a lot of battle passes in the world right now. We don't have that. We only have a finite amount of money for these battle passes. I think free to play has just become, I don't even know if it's necessarily a Fortnite thing because Fortnite has been making money off it, but I think free to play is just becoming a thing because they're realizing that it's easier for a kid to download a game on their PlayStation, play it, and then ask their mom for $20, maybe $15 a month.
The barrier to entry.
Like it's easier for them to ask for $20 for something in the game that they like than it is for them to ask their parents for a $60 game in like 1 month. So they're doing this more to make some money, but I don't like free to play taking over everything because I'm a grown adult. I'm not trying to as a person who can afford $60 for a full game, I don't want shit to be locked behind a wall, you know? Like I'd rather pay $60 and have all my shit right there in front of me as opposed to like every month or so I have to pay $10, $15. Like it's kind of ass.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. And again, I feel like everybody's seen Fortnite. And everybody's a little bit jealous of the revenue streams that they've been able to get consistently. So I think they're trying to use, again, major franchises like this and classics, kind of cult classics like this, and make a lane or to at least test the experiment on if they can make an online community that is consistent, that is, engaging, and that can milk a lot of money out of the user base. And it's weird. I could see how Jet Set Radio can be implemented into like a free to play online, online world or an online game, in a sense. But I would rather just be kind of its standalone own thing. But apparently, a part of this Super Game initiative, everything is trying to be geared towards making it, online, free to play, and a consistent funnel of different, smaller purchases that are more consistent for Sega. And I'm like, for the business side of it, whatever you're trying to do, what you're trying to do. But I mean, for the game experience, if it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense. So if you're Jet Set Radio and like it's not maybe, you know, it's not like the best thing to put like, you know, okay, put people in the map, make them do different objectives from here and there, but you can have different cosmetics and da 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 da. Like I don't know how that would come off necessarily. You know what I'm saying? I think that would be better as like a flat rate 60 purchase or a flat rate 40 purchase, and then you just let that be. You know what I'm saying? Its own thing. So I feel like they'd have to find the right lane of sense and relevance. It's like the FPS title that they're working on. That seems fair to make a free to play in that type of vein, because I mean FPS is like an Apex, like a Fortnite. That's more along that line. But using a franchise like Crazy Taxi or Jet Set Radio, which is like again really precious to people and kind of that standalone experience, it might be weird to translate into a free to play online joint with, you know, microtransactions and different things in there. It's a very sensitive thing to play with. So I mean, Sega seems like they're dead set on doing some type of project with this in the Super Game Initiative. So I just say tread carefully, because people really revere these, you know, these franchises in a cult classic type of way. So if you mess with it too much and it becomes real gimmicky, that's where people are gonna turn on you, dog. So I would say tread lightly.
Yeah.
100%. All right. But yeah, now I do want to see Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio back in some format.
Yeah,
I actually do.
I
actually do. I'm about to say,
a good game.
Such a freaking good game. Don't even get started on the music. That shit. Mwah. All right.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother joint. But yeah, let's see. Best of luck on that. Fingers crossed, Sega. We gonna see you. But yeah, as we draw closer to the glorious day that is May 3rd, we now have an official trailer for the new Halo Infinite Season 2 Lone Wolves drop, featuring new game modes that are being added to the rotation, featuring Land Grab, which has 3 neutral zones, and when all 3 zones are capped, new zones spawn. So it's kind of like a rotating domination / hardpoint type of style of game. Last Spartan Standing, 12-player FFA free-for-all on big team battle maps. You have 5 respawns and a weapon upgrade path with each kill, and the grand return of King of the Hill. It is now back alongside a non-expiring battle pass, new maps, and LTE events. Halo really might have a path back to recapture the fans, man. What's going on?
Maybe. It seems cool. Like I like the season 2 stuff. Is it a little too late? Maybe. Because it is, like, I might have to re-download this game because I definitely don't have it installed. Some people will feel the same way, truthfully, because they're gonna be like, "Damn, did I really enjoy Halo that much?" Some people will come back. Some people won't. They might have gotten sucked back into Apex or whatever. I think this is I'm happy to see that they're not giving up on the game, though. I'm really happy to see the new content. The 12-player free-for-all mode sounds fun. I'm happy that I'm happy that they didn't add a battle royale. Like, I really am against adding those into certain type of games.
Yeah.
But this season 2 looks good. I just hope that now, you know, after they got a kick in the pants of realizing how fast they need to come out with stuff, that they're on top of shit. Because if the people who do come back for season 2, you got to keep them happy and make sure season 3 is on the way, because they might literally not be here. I like the non-expiring battle pass, though. I wish more people would incorporate that, because there's some battle pass that I paid for and didn't complete, and there goes my fucking money, I guess. Even if you took out the currency, like even if you took out, like, in the battle pass, you will not get the currency that you need to buy another battle pass. Like, because every battle pass has
you have like little points.
Coins. Even if you took those out and just left me with the cosmetics that I can get, I would much prefer that than having to lose the ability of getting everything, you know?
Yeah. Nah, I definitely feel that. It's a weird spot, honestly. I think there is a good amount of stuff in here that will bring some people back, as long as the maps are quality and there's enough of it in the rotation that gets constantly, you know, pushed to where we're experiencing that, and we got that, you know, freshness back. King of the Hill should have been in the base game, in my opinion. You know, King of the Hill's a classic. That's that's bread and butter Halo right there. Should have been in there from the beginning, but I'm glad it's here now. Free for all mode where everybody's, you know, banding for themselves is kind of like also a quintessential Halo experience. I don't know if y'all, you know, again, y'all in this classrooms and stuff, and y'all hooked Halo up in the USBs and got it cracking at some things. I know I've done it in the past, so thinking back to that, you know what I'm saying, them Blood Ghost days and shit, just straight free for all. That is also a big staple of Halo gameplay and Halo multiplayer. Land grab seems pretty interesting. Seems like a pretty decent mode that we can get into. Not too much to say on that. Some changes here and there, odds and ends getting tightened up. If they can keep the map upkeep right, this can last for a good while. I think this could last for a good while. But again, to your point, now for me, I'm thinking about what's next to supplement this, because we're gonna have content. I'm ready. I'm kind of getting myself hyped up to consume it. And now I'm thinking, okay, what's the next thing that's coming? And for me, the next major update, I think it has to be Forge. Forge has to be done. Forge has to be at least ready to go and operational by this next update. And I think that's got to be like maybe 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks away. Honestly, if I were them, and I'm like, yo, if we can prioritize something, I would prioritize Forge, because that's like the biggest gap in the community right now. That's the biggest gap in Halo, and that's why people aren't taken to it. At some point, I saw a report like a week or two ago. It was like there are more players on the Master Chief Collection than on Halo Infinite, and I was like, bro, that's a crazy drop off. That's an insane drop off. That doesn't make any sense. So they need to have something that stimulates the community more than just a regular base map. Because at some point the rotation is getting tiring. You're gonna figure out what it is, but you need to reopen that lane. And Forge is the right way to do it. And I think that needs to be the next big piece here, or else they're gonna be starving. They're gonna be starving their fans for more content. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna drop 2 maps at a time, another game mode and stuff like that, like every 3 months. And this is the first drop we've had, and it's been since December. It's been 4. So
it would just keep your game vibrant as well too, because you
literally
have, like,
that's evergreen. That's evergreen content. Go back to how, I mean, I'm not gonna say you are them, but like again, the Bungie style, just go a whole community highlight and show who's doing what in the community, blah blah blah. Show them this map, show them this game mode that they made. Literally, you know how much it's literally right there in front of their faces. You know how much content can come from just that stuff. I don't even need to go into detail about Forge. I'm just thinking that this needs to be their next major update to supplement everything that's going on. If they can generate enough buzz around Lone Wolves and sustain it for a little bit of time, I think they need to use that momentum and ride it straight into Forge. I think that's what has to be done. Yeah, man. Otherwise, you know what I'm saying? Halo, we gonna see you. We see you. It's all good. All right, man. I don't know if you peeped it though. I don't know if you peeped it sometime this week, but Jeff Grubb actually spoke a little bit on the development of Skate 4, and he was so gracious to just drop a little bit of a clip, actually some gameplay, from an early build of Skate 4. Now, apparently he stated that this game is looking to really home in on the fluidity of the player movement on and off the board, climbing upstairs and traversing all the environments and whatnot. And this also comes alongside a lot of news and rumors around the potential of Skate 4 multiplayer, which will apparently include a heavy user-generated content slate and a collaborative park for friends to build together online. Now, this is a lot of early news that we're getting. Of course, Skate 4 is still a couple years away that we're seeing, but from the footage that we got here and these rumors of, again, like an online collaborative sandbox that we can build simultaneously, stuff's looking up, man. What you thinking, Wen?
That sounds pretty cool. I think that's a really cool feature to add. Hopefully it comes out well, because I know that, again, it's still very, very early in the development process for them. Hopefully this doesn't become like 2 or 3 years from now, we're not sitting here and talking about how they overhyped the game. But small updates like that aren't terrible, especially with a franchise that's been out for so long. Like if this was like, if you were dropping things about like a new DLC for like Cyberpunk, or like any other game, like any game that came out in the past like 4 or 5 years, I'd be like, well, we don't really need this right now. But something like this, where like people have been asking for Skate and you don't really hear a lot of news
for a long time,
it's not a bad thing. Like this isn't a bad example of like trying to build some hype or showing people something. It would have been worse if they would have released like a cinematic trailer with nothing about it. Because this, when I see it, I'm like, okay, they're working on it, but it's still a long time from now. But when you see like a cinematic trailer, you don't know where they're at all.
Yeah. It's literally like you have no basis of what's going on. But again, I can look straight to this. From the build, like again, it just looks so smooth. Like the bro just did, like he just jumped off smooth front flip, did a double front flip straight to like a Hall of Meat, breaking shit. Like it looked really, really fluid, honestly. And again, I think that they're on the right track, honestly, with the way you can climb stuff and traverse and do whatever. It looks really, really, like, again, just if it looks smooth from everything I'm seeing, and that needs to be the basis of everything that happens in Skate. smooth, fluid, going from jumping to terrain to skating on something to getting out, having that level of flexibility between traversing the entire environment, going down, grinding on stuff on a city side, going straight to a parking on a half pipe. There needs to be that level of smoothness between everything, and I feel like that's
For
what
sure.
they're making the focus on, which is really, really good from what I'm seeing in this early build. Now, in terms of the online multiplayer aspect, mwah, mwah. And I know that they're focusing on this. I know for a fact that they are, because they're not stupid. This team, I know they're not stupid. So they've seen the reception that they've gotten from like the Hall of Meat and all these online modes that have kept people so preoccupied in Skate 3 to this day. And I feel like they're gonna really crank that up to an 11 and make that a big sticking point of this game as well. Just the community that is, again, stayed steadfast and been waiting for this type of stuff to come back. Making an online, a forge mode, basically a skate forge mode. Again, we talking about this, everything connects to everything. Having that forge mode like right there at the front of the game, at the top of the game, right, for people to access online. That's what's gonna make this game such a long, a long-lived title and experience. Having those, I'd say, those pillars of an experience, especially with the online component, you need to have something that keeps people constantly guessing. Can you master this half pipe? Oh, friends, can we build this stuff? Can we build this giant ass tall thing and just jump off and see who gets the most hollow meat points? Like, it seems like they're gearing up for something that's very, very interactive, very cooperative, very collaborative, and just a fun time, man. I miss Skate so much. So seeing this stuff, it makes me really, really hopeful that it's gonna come out fire.
For sure. I can't wait. I think it's gonna be a really good game.
For sure, man. No, I likewise. I literally cannot complain about that one. I'm liking what I'm seeing, and yeah, this is better than getting some cinematic, bro. So I'm straight. It is what it is. All right. Let me skip forward a little bit. So this week we actually got a new look at something. We got to look at a new action RPG coming from Acme Game Studio. It's under the PlayStation banner as well. It just dropped on their channel like in the middle of the week. Coming to PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 and PC. The game Asturgios, Curse of the Stars. It picks up with a protagonist named Hilda, which is a young warrior from the Northwind Legion on a trek to save her father in some ancient city. Now, it's looking really, really cool. It feels kind of God of War-esque. You know what I'm saying? Certain combos and levels of traversal. A little bit of the look of it as well. Really, really, really interesting game. It's set to drop this fall. So coming out of the blue, really, really trying to make a quick drop. How you feeling about it, bro?
It kind of reminds me a little bit of Breath of the Wild, which is not a bad thing. Breath of the Wild was an amazing game.
Mm-hmm.
It looks pretty sick. Will I be getting it? I don't know. This is a very packed year, but happy to see that they're expanding their reach. Um, Nothing wrong with a little third person open world experience, but I don't know. Like, it looks cool, but is it cool enough for me to cop it? I guess it really depends on like the more I see of it. But I am interested in all like the abilities and like the weapons that you can use. It doesn't look like a bad game whatsoever. Like if you like Breath of the Wild or that kind of like open exploration, I think that's what this game is going for.
Yeah. To me, potential wise, this could be like a Kenna style game or a Kana style game. You know what I mean? Like a little bit of a sleeper, but really cool gameplay, interesting visuals. And it seems like it could be a contained campaign. It might not have to be that expansive. The boss rush that's looking like it's having in this game, though, looks really interesting. A lot of good variety in the boss that you might fight. Decent visuals. And again, it just reminds me a lot of the God of War sense. Like, yo, you're really like, in there with certain powers and doing your thing. She kind of looked like she got a little Aloy mix from Horizon and stuff. But nah, it looks actually like a pretty interesting title. I know PlayStation always has these every year. They just drop in the middle of the year, like, hey, yo, bro, we got something coming out this fall. Check that out. Extra shit. Move. You know what I'm saying? But I'm hoping this actually turns out, literally, bro. I'm really hoping it turns out good, though. Honestly, like I know it's probably not gonna be like top echelon of stuff I'm looking out for, but I'd say if it's coming out and continues to provide promise, I'll definitely take another look at this, man. Take it for a spin and whatnot.
This could even be one of those games that is on the PlayStation subscription service, kind of like how Xbox Game Pass. Like this could be like It could be a PlayStation Scorpio exclusive or something like that, or a PlayStation Plus Essential or something.
100, bro. It definitely could. And again, look at the platform release. It said PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, and PC, all under the banner of that same service that they're rolling out in June. So I think this
I
is
wouldn't be mad at it.
this is actually a really interesting thing. Actually, that's interesting you brought that up, man. It could be that they used kind of those, like a lot of the JRPGs, the RPGs, kind of the smaller titles that they drop throughout the middle of the year and announced for later by early fall. They all just roll up to the service. You know what I'm saying? They roll up to that tiered service, and if it's hot enough, man, it could turn some heads.
If it's on PlayStation Plus or whatever, or if I get PlayStation Essentials, hey, I'm not saying I'm not going. I'm gonna have to check it out. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Hey, that's fair, bro. Listen, essentials gas are passed, bro. It's coming. Stop playing with them. That's a
Oh,
fact.
me and Panda have something in the works. Don't worry. Me and Panda
Oh
we
shit.
got
Oh
something in the
shit.
works.
Let's go, bro. Let's go. All right, man. Sturgios, we see you. We see you coming this fall. You're on the lookout, kind of, but still on the lookout. All right. So this story here was also interesting, man. Everybody kind of pissing off people today. Around like this weekend, people been on people's ass, bro. Brands have been getting grilled a little bit. So a lot of people in the gaming community seem to be lasering focus back on Microsoft this week, as it was reported that they are exploring options to include ads in free-to-play experiences in the future. Now, with the main objective apparently being to give devs more flexibility to include them, ads are being considered to enter the pipeline for free-to-play games moving forward. Now, I mean, thoughts on this? How are we feeling? Because damn, it's like they're pushing for it. Community, people are pushing
There's
back,
gotta
but
be a good ass reason I'm seeing ads in my game. Like that's kind of how I feel about it. There's gotta be a good ass reason I'm seeing ads in my game. If you give me ads in my game, and at any point in time the game is pay to win or like anything like that, I don't think that that's fair. Like if you say, hey, turn on ads and you'll get a free battle pass if you keep ads on or whatever, sure, bro. I personally, because you could put an ad in a loading screen and it literally won't matter to me. Maybe even having like, no, because you would just have a streamer mode too. Like you could, because that's another thing too, is like if you're gonna be advertising and I'm a streamer, you're advertising to my community as well. So like even having like a streamer mode connected, like that wouldn't hurt. Maybe you could, if you implement them in the game, maybe you could work something out. This is never gonna happen, but it'd be cool if like the ads in the video game counts as my ads on Twitch, so then like Twitch doesn't have to run ads. But I'm pretty sure that's not gonna fucking work out like that. But um I think that if you give me ads in a video game, but it benefits me in the long run, I'm not gonna be upset about it. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, for example, let's say a game, the best I can think of is like a game called War Thunder. It was a free to play like airplane, like historic plane fighting game. Don't ask me why. I was a huge fan of it though.
hey,
But it was like $2, or like the paying for like the monthly subscription was really cheap. But if you were to tell me like, yo, we're gonna give you all the benefits of the monthly subscription if we just play ads for you every so often, I would do it. Like I wouldn't care. Or if like in Fortnite, if it's like, yo, if you watch ads if you don't turn off ads the whole season, you watch a certain amount or whatever the fuck, we will pay for your battle pass or something small like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be a good reason. Like I wouldn't care about ads, but if you just throw them in there, like I boot up Overwatch 3 that's free to play or whatever, and I see ads and I don't get shit from it, that's shitty. Like that's shitty.
straight ass. Not wrong. Now, my thing is, I'm really harping on the method of delivery. Now, I know that ad revenue is probably a big plus for developers to get again their budgets, boosted. There's some extra stuff that they have to pay for, make sure they're actually, proficient in their returns from the development process. Understand that 100%. Especially for free to play developers, it's hard for them to actually find the easiest path to get profit and hit the green, so to speak. But the method and mode of delivery is very, very important, especially for free to play games. If you go the route of making an ad play in between every match, or doing some stuff like that, where like an ad plays in the menu, like a 2K or something like that, like this little thing like 2K TV pops out in the box. I don't think that's on. That's not on whatsoever. I think it's very invasive. I feel like that is where we shouldn't go in terms of putting free to play ads, if ads in free to play games. that's going to piss a lot of people off. That's going to be very intrusive. That's going to disrupt whatever they're doing. Now, if you could say kind of back it up in a sense of maybe billboards or white spaces where they're not as intrusive, but they play in certain strips of a game, or they're in parts of the map, or they're integrated into the system where they're not intrusive, where they're very subtle, but still you have some amount of presence there. Maybe strap some around the battle bus, like a little like a Reuters moving electronic sign that just drops ads every now and again and like folds that stuff. Making those types of inclusions, I feel like isn't as intrusive. It's still kind of acceptable to where the fans would be like, all right, cool, whatever. I don't really have to look at it like that. It's not in front of my face, so I don't have to, super focusing on the ad because it's there. I'm not trying to sit there trying to load up games and grind something out and be sitting here like waiting for a 30-second ad while my joint starts. I'm not trying to do all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the goal of this, if they do choose to push forward, is to make it as non-intrusive as possible and find the right sweet spot in all their free-to-play game experiences, because no two free-to-play games will be the same, and just finding that right lane to keep them in, to keep everybody at bay and not pissed off at each other.
Yeah, because it's I would hate it if, like, for example, my game loaded but I can't because I have to wait for the ad to go. Like, you could even put it in, like, you could do dumb shit with it. Like, it would be so easy if you really wanted to. You could like throw them on, like, let's say the classic Fortnite skin. You know how like it randomizes when you don't own a skin. Like, he's like, oh, that motherfucker now is the Dorito man, or now he's the Mountain Dew guy. Like, you could make it in a way that it would be there. I would see the ad, but it wouldn't affect my game. Would it make the game look cheesy, or would it make it look whack? Yeah, but this is your role. You're putting ads in a game. Like, you're gonna make the shit look whack regardless. So
facts.
I might find a way to make it find a way to make it fun, or find a way to make it not intrusive. Because if I have to wait for an ad to finish to play the game, even though I bought an SSD and made my shit load fast as fuck, I promise you the game's not getting played. I promise you.
Tell them again.
Like, what are we adding ads? Why are we adding ads? Like, whatever. We don't. Money is money, I guess. But there has to be some kind of a payoff. Like, there needs to be this has to be the last resort kind of thing.
Yeah, nah, I feel like for some free to play games it might be. So we'll definitely have to see about that. Okay, all right, that's enough about that, man. Let's keep it moving. Oh man, for the last major segment of the day, we got the trailer trove, man. We got a couple stories coming for the trailer trove. Damn, a lot more news out of here than I thought was gonna come through this week, man. First and foremost, we got some rumblings that a Streets of Rage film is looking to be produced by John Wick creator Derek Kolstad, DJ2 Entertainment, and the Escape Artists, which are the studio behind John Wick, and DJ2, of course, the studios behind the Sonic movies. And the side-scrolling beat-em-up classic seems to now have some legs in the cinema department, bro. Like, what? Streets of Rage is out the cut? This is what we doing?
That's not bad. Like, I like that though. I'm a big fan of. I'm a fan of it just because, like, there's certain games that I think would be easy to put into a movie. Like, when people say things like, "Oh, I want to see Metal Gear Solid in a movie," because I would love to see that, but I also don't want to see it because that would be really difficult. But if you tell me like Twin Dragons or like Final Fight, like the easy, like, hey, this guy stole my girlfriend, I'm gonna go beat up the city, like, that'd be a cool. Like, sure, it's funny. Like, even like Street Fighter. I mean, like, we've seen bad Street Fighter films, but like we've seen good ones too. But like things with simple stories, you should easily put those bad boys in. Like, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I agree. And I think this is like real simple. Where, like, again, you take after some of the characters that were there, like in the beat 'em up, provides some couple references here and there, but otherwise it's pretty much free reign. There wasn't really anything that's like super solid that you have to, in terms of like stick to, besides like maybe some of the fighting styles, some of the characters and enemies that you might run into. Otherwise it's just straight hands. And I feel like, again, the studio behind John Wick, y'all know hands, y'all know action. So I got full blessing from that. DJ2, it seems that they have a real decent grip on certain video game adaptations. We can get into that a little bit later, but I kind of have a little bit more trust in DJ2 from what I've been hearing, again, about Sonic 2, about some of the stuff that they got under their reins. And yeah, I'm not mad at Streets of Rage movie. I'm not mad at this one. Like, which is weird because I'd be mad at all. I used to be mad at all them joints, but now I'm trusting a little bit more, which is not comfortable right now. But trust me, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
All right, and a little bit more interesting news. We've heard reports that Aquaman star and Lenny Kravitz bunk bed mate Jason Momoa is now set to star in greenlit Minecraft movie project. Minecraft. With Napoleon Dynamite director Jared Hess set to direct. There's some movement now, and it seems the film will get off the blocks and in production. See what I did there? Off the blocks? All right, never mind. Like, what you thinking, bro?
It's sure, like, all right, man. I don't know. I know there was a Minecraft TV show, but like I didn't watch it because I was like, why? And now we're making a Minecraft movie. Sure.
Listen, I like some of the Jason Momoa films, man. Like, what the fuck does he know about blocks though? What does he know about blocks? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on, big dog. What are they even gonna talk about? They just gonna go to fight the Ender Dragon, nigga? This is what we're gonna do? This it?
Bro, I don't know. Like, that's the biggest thing. Is like I don't know where this could like.
This can go in many different ways. This could be like very obscure, very miss, or this could go like Lego Movie or something like that, where it's like unexpectedly heat.
Yeah, this is a weird timeline because I don't know why they would make a Minecraft movie, but hey, Microsoft's gonna Microsoft.
Facts. They gonna throw some money at whatever. So it is what it is, man. But Jason Momoa, I'm confused as shit. Whatever. We're just gonna. I don't know about that one, man. So this next story, according to Variety, the It Takes Two movie project has picked up some steam as Amazon is now gearing it up for priority development alongside DJ2 Entertainment, of course. But now, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and his $7 production studio they're being brought in to help produce the film. So, you know, there's that side. And now with rumors swirling around that The Rock could even play a role in the film, we seem to be really getting on that fast track for Joseph Fares to claim that Oscar. Fingers crossed, baby. Fingers crossed. So, I mean, what's going on with it, man? I mean, what's it called? What's it called? $7 Productions. They've done Red Notice on Netflix. They've done Jungle Cruise. They've done Jumanji. They've done a couple of films so far. I've seen 2 out of 3 of these. I haven't seen Jungle Cruise yet, but I mean 2 out of 3, they're actually pretty decent. I will not blame them for that movie. Like they're pretty straight. But coming in to do this, and DJ2 so far has done a really good job with the Sonic franchise, and they've been slated to do some more projects that are coming on. I believe was it Hotline Miami or something like that? I think they're also slated to make a project about that. But how do you feel about cool. Yeah, how you feel about $7 coming in to do and help DJ2 out with the It Takes Two?
I think It Takes Two is such a good story that it kind of writes itself. You don't really even need to do a lot with it. Honestly, you could just like take the cutscenes, use them as like a storyboard, and shoot the thing. Like I don't think it's gonna be hard at all. Yeah. I think this movie's gonna be good because I just really don't see that. If it was a movie, I really don't see how they could fuck that up because it's just it literally plays itself. It's the game is a movie in and of itself. So all you need to do is cut out the filler, cut out the extra stuff, keep the heart of it in there. But like, it's that project was so good that there's just no way you can fuck it up. Like it was perfect. It was perfect for what it was. It's exactly what it needed to be. There's really no way they could fuck this up. It's kind of a lob, and the story is so good. I could see that shit winning an Oscar because it's a good. Everything about it is good. Even when you remove the gameplay, like it's just all around a good story, good plot, good everything. Really just depends on who you hire to do it, who you hire to act. But again, if Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, yeah, that motherfucker, he's a great actor. Yeah, he's gonna like. I just can't see this being I can't see any of this being a bad thing. You know.
Facts. I will say though, if I see this nigga in a jungle with a sweaty tan or dark beige shirt, I'm gonna really be pissed off because how the hell did y'all manage to get him in there again with the same shit? That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? But otherwise, it's gonna be a good time. If you cast him in the movie, cool. You gonna rock bottom some random, you know what I'm saying, some random pencils and musical instruments on the way to find love. That's cool. It is what it is. But no, seriously though, like, from what I've seen so far, $7 actually has gotten better. They've really improved as a studio. I mean, from the earlier project, from what I've seen, I mean, I'm a big ass wrestling fan, so I'll naturally follow whatever The Rock's doing because he's one of my favorite wrestlers and shit. So I kind of keep tabs on the project and how they've progressed, and they've gotten better, man. From Red Note is actually a pretty decent movie. Like Red Note is like solid. It's not like no Oscar winning movie, but really fun, entertaining, and I think that's what It Takes Two needs to be. just fun, entertaining, a wholesome story. And they have all the elements. They have literally the recipe right there. There's not much to really adapt and convert, and do too much
Yeah.
to. It's really just right there and finding the people who can fit into those into those requirements, kind of like round pegs for round holes, basically, and just kind of just fitting into that spot, and who can mesh well with the story and what Joseph Fares and his team have set up already. So I mean, I out of the next crop of video game projects, my highest hope probably is in this one. I would definitely say that for being an actual successful good movie, not in terms of commercial success, but just a quality movie. I would say this one.
Yeah, same. I completely agree with you. I can't see this being bad.
Yeah, 100%. All right, and that brings us to the last story of the trailer trove, man. Well, we finally got some new information and a new trailer for the upcoming film Thor: Love and Thunder. Now, getting some views on the new look God of Thunder, the Guardians of the Galaxy, peaks at Zeus and the Olympian Pantheon, Mighty Thor, Jane Foster, and more. Thor: Love and Thunder is now coming July of this year. So, I mean, we got a lot of different looks and different views. The trailer actually looks pretty beautiful. But what's going on, man? What are you thinking? What are you thinking, Wen?
I watched it and I kind of was like trying to find a reason to go watch it, but like outside of just being a Marvel fan, I couldn't really see a reason to go watch it. Like, I don't know, I just wasn't wowed. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So they kept like the lightheartedness of like Ragnarok when you see him like doing the chains and stuff and like working out and doing all that stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. This is cool, but I'm not going to I don't want to go to the theaters for this. I don't know what it's for. He's like, I want to see what it's like being bigger than a hero. And I was like, shit, like I don't really care. The hammer was cool, but I it's I understand that they gotta set things up for the next set of Marvel movies and whatnot, but I really just kind of been burnt out on Marvel with all the shows that come out, with all the extra things that are coming out. I saw this and I was just and again, like the Guardians of the Galaxy were in it, and then I was like, man, I don't remember the last time I was really, really fucking with Guardians of the Galaxy like that. Like after the first movie, I thought it was like, oh, this is the best Marvel franchise we have right now. But after the second movie, I was like, I'm really cool. Marvel, I like Guardians of the Galaxy the game. Like I love the game, but now I play like the actual. I see him in a movie, and I'm like, I like the characters in the game better, which is wild because it used to be the opposite. Like that's crazy.
It's a lot, bro. It's a lot. All right. Just to give my 2 cents on this. I'm in a weird spot because I'm like close to being excited for this movie, but it's like, okay, it's missing some things. And of course it's a teaser trailer. Of course there's some things there that they're going to purposefully exclude. So I think that it's just a sense that they're really trying to take their time with this and not reveal so much of it. But I feel that this movie is going to drop a lot of stuff. Again, we already know about Gore the God Butcher, and when he's in this movie, I feel like that's when stuff's going to turn like quickly. That's when everything's going to change like it's going to change like 180. I think we'll have some of that actual again, the levity that we had in a lot of Thor Ragnarok and a lot of the Guardians movies and where it's mixed up. But apparently from the trailer, it looks like at some point they split off and like he goes to do his own thing and he's rolling up with Korg, you know what I mean? And they're stumbling upon motherfuckers that died and stuff like that. And if you're tapping into the comics and what people have been sharing online and social media, you see something's afoot. And I feel like that's where we might see an actual we hit a corner in the story. So for now, I'm kind of reserving judgment. I'm not saying too much, but off the rip, I'd say I'm kind of moderately looking out for it. Will I see it in theaters? It's like a toss up at this point. It did not get me out my seat as fast as what's it called? Multiverse of Madness. I'd say right now I'm kind of waiting in the wing just to see if there's anything else we might glean from the trailers. Or I'm just wondering where they would go next. Again, and I'm not sure where this is in the timeline. If it's after Multiverse of Madness, maybe that might explain how we're getting certain, iterations of like Mighty Jane Foster, you know what I'm saying? Like Jane Foster, Thor, how we're getting other people kind of pop up. I'm not sure where this fits in the context of the MCU just yet. But I mean, so far I'd say moderately excited, moderately kind of looking out for it, but it wasn't, to the level that other movies have gotten me up out of my seat recently, or other projects have gotten me up out of my seat recently. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I saw the Spider-Man teaser, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go watch it. Didn't
Mhm.
watch any other trailers. Literally avoided all the other trailers because I was like, I'm gonna watch it. It's gonna be good. Same thing with a lot of movies. Multiverse of Madness was similar. I'm a huge Doctor Strange fan though, but like if I'm gonna keep it a stack with you, if I wasn't a fan of Doctor Strange, I wouldn't have been hyped for that movie either. Because again,
Mm.
when you go from like here and now we're just trying to build back up, like this is just a downslope. I'm gonna keep it a stack. If it's I was up here and now I just kind of I'd rather watch YouTube videos real quick than sit 2 hours in a movie that I might not like.
Mhm.
I'd rather like skip if I don't like this, if I don't think the Thor movie is good, I'd rather not go to the movies and watch it. Watch it on Disney Plus or watch it somewhere else. Um, and then later watch the next big movies in the theater. But with this one, I will watch another trailer because it's interesting enough for me to give it the second trailer try. But
Mhm.
if it doesn't hit on that the whole, the big trailer where they explain everything to you, it might be a
Mm.
pass for me, dog. Like it wouldn't be
Yeah.
the first movie I passed up on.
Mhm. Yeah. No, I feel that. I feel that. Also, for me, I don't know why. This is I don't want to sound no damn snob or anything like that, but I'm also trying to look towards what else are they going to set up in terms of the next, few parts of it. If they're only bringing in Gore the God Butcher for him to only be in one film, and then Thor just kills him in one film, that's gonna piss me off because I want Gore to be kind of a consistent thing. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got the Necro Sword. He got some, what I'm saying, some joint with him, or maybe he doesn't. I don't know what they're gonna do in the MCU to kind of make him, but uh I would want to see also what type of continuities and what type of, you know again, arcs they might set up going for the future moving forward. Thinking about, okay, if they're going to see Zeus and the Olympian gods and stuff like that, are we going to get a Hercules? Is a Hercules actually going to pull up in this, or is it just going to be like kind of like a one stop tease and then, oh yeah, that's it, that wasn't there? I just kind of want something substantial that comes from the lore that surrounds, the places that Thor's going to jump to next. I don't want a kind of like a one shot where, he kind of does all this stuff and then none of it really matters as he goes to the next thing. You know what I mean? And it
Yeah,
kind of closes off. I kind of want more of an extension of that, of maybe the ramifications of the people he runs into and seeing how that connects to the rest of the MCU, because the phase is really, we're heading into really unknown territory after Multiverse of Madness. Again, we're getting a Black Panther 2, which is again very up in the air. We don't know how that's gonna be. We're getting all these new shows. The next Captain America at some point is coming. Like there's so much different stuff that we're kind of in an unknown zone with Marvel, and it's like I don't want to be just kind of trucking along with nothing with nothing really in sight necessarily. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
that's why I really hope Multiverse of Madness kind of again ticks everything and kind of resets the box, which I think it will, in a certain extent. But I also want Thor to push it a little bit more on. You know what I mean? Uh, yeah, that's me. But right now, I would say I'm like 5 out of 10 excited. Like 5 out of 10. Not too much, not too little. I'm somewhere in the middle of where, if it's more interesting, if I get another good look at it, I'll probably go see it first day. But if not, I'm not tripping over it.
I feel the same way. Like I'm definitely not going into my settings and muting the words Thor from my timeline.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I don't even care that much.
nah.
It's cool. Thor just isn't really my favorite character. I don't think Thor. I mean, I'm not gonna slander Thor because there might be Thor fans. I'm not a huge Thor fan. So like again, it's nothing crazy. But even as a Doctor Strange fan, like I just feel when I saw Multiverse of Madness, I'm like, oh, this could be pretty sick. But I like if I wasn't a Doctor Strange fan, I probably wouldn't have watched that one either. At this point now it's starting to become a la carte because there's so much Marvel. To me personally, there's so much Marvel stuff out that I could like not watch Thor and still, if I'm a
Mhm.
fan of Captain America, I got
Oh
I
yeah.
got Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like if I want to see Wanda, like there's so many things and there's so many more shows coming out.
Hmm.
There's so much Marvel out right now that even if you missed a movie or two, you will be fine
Oh
because
yeah, nah,
there's
100%.
you will be fed with content. And that's kind of
Hmm.
why when I see this trailer, I'm not super excited because it's not like back in the day where we were trying to get to Endgame or like we wanted to know what happened at Endgame. Now we're kind of just like we'll see what happens when it happens.
Yeah, we're waiting in the wings for the next, I guess, true setup, because everything's been really ethereal right now. Nothing's been solidified as, hey, listen, this person's going to be the next big bad. Your ass is next. You know what I'm saying? There
Yeah.
isn't anything. There's no solid, plan that we see on the screen yet. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like we're anxious for everything. You know what I mean? What's going to be the next big step? I'm banking on a little bit for it to be Multiverse of Madness, but we could be wrong. It could be shorter. That would suck if it just kind of closed off to be nothing, which I
Yeah.
highly doubt. I highly doubt it is. But we gotta see, man. We gotta see. Yeah, man. Thor, Love, and Thunder. We gonna keep you know what I'm saying, eye out. Since he got both his eyes back, you know what I'm saying? I was gonna make an eye patch joke, but he got both his eyes back and shit. So never mind. Thanks for ruining that, Marvel. Gosh. But yeah, with that being said, that's all the notes I had for the show today. Real quick, just about Tiny Tina's, man. I know we played some yesterday. Just talk like for like a couple minutes about that. Um, it's fun, bro.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's like aimlessly fun, like quintessentially Borderlands, but also super tactical. A lot of thought behind it. Fun.
Yeah. Me, Trip and Charles have been playing it for a bit now. We played it Sunday, this Thursday. And we're probably gonna end up playing it again at some point.
Fact.
Really, really good game. We literally, like, before we even started the podcast, we were talking about it. It's just like, I think it's just the right amount of Borderlands, personally. I think it's exactly what we needed after Borderlands 3 to show us like, hey, we are still working on this. Like, we're getting better. I promise. It's a really good game. If you haven't played Tiny Tina's, again, we're not even sponsored either. Like, they did not send us
This
free
is not
copies. If
sponsored.
they still
Facts.
want to sponsor us, we would love that. But
Facts. Hit me up, Gearbox. Stop playing with me. Facts.
like, we are having a lot of fun with Tiny Tina's just because of the gameplay is really fun. I love the random encounters. There's just so many things that make this game fun and like consistently fun. We're just and the jokes are better. Everything is just really kudos, because I can't praise it enough, because I was saddened when I played 3. 3 wasn't my favorite Borderlands game, but this is the step in the right direction.
No, 100%. Like, there's so much quality changes, bro. Especially first and foremost, we gotta say it. Like, the class system is probably
Classism
one
is
of the
nuts.
like the ability to mix and match and creating so much more decision making with that stuff. And I know you have like, okay, you had a couple different options in one thing, but now that you can merge classes and make so many different status effects and things happen. Like, for me personally, I was like, yo, since I'm already starting on a lot of crit damage, I'm just gonna max out all these crit damage builds and see if I can see what I can do. And that's informed my decision making to make, you know, certain things happen. But then there's so many cool things I can do. Like, I have dead ass Thor's hammer. You know, you just like, you know, kind of like calling Thor MIDI on the trailer. You know what I'm saying? I've been throwing Thor's hammer like crazy and recalling it, but also at the same time, I've been scoring critical hits on everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's such a dope mix, and there's so many mix and match and different combinations you can get into. I'm gonna be lost at it trying to find all these different combinations. I love the overworld aspect of it. Honestly, it makes everything seem so much more achievable than having one giant ass map that you have to drive here for 10 minutes and then drive there for 30 minutes and then drive there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it makes everything so much more faster, and also it just feels a little bit fresh where it's broken up. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we did this mission literally before we got off on Thursday. We are just like, oh yeah, we'll hop into this cave real quick, do this thing, you know what I'm saying, drop off, couple encounters here, there, and there, walk back right here. She's like, again, a good 40 seconds away, claim it, and then you're done. Like, it seems quick, and there's enough volume in missions to actually be engaged and, you know, really get lost in the world still. I like it. The plot so far has actually been pretty decent. The characters have been really decent. Torg is in there, so you already know he's goated. My man blew up the ocean. You know what I'm saying? He's the GOAT. So far so good, man. I literally have zero major complaints. Maybe a couple glitches here and there. It's like the weird, the no shooting one for yesterday.
Yeah, like I had a glitch where I was literally, bullets were not coming out of my gun, and I was just like, this is whack. And like the moments like that were really rough, because I remember before even the newest update, I had a glitch where I couldn't see my quests. Like, I couldn't even, like, I literally just had to scroll through the buttons and hope that this is the main quest or whatever. But they fixed that. But now sometimes my guns don't shoot bullets, which is also an issue. And I don't even know if that's like a regular game issue, or if, like, because I was playing multiplayer. There's still some polishing that needs to be done, but they're giving the game a lot of love because it just got patched yesterday. They're continuously making more content, because I believe the first DLC is close to being out, or
No,
it's
it's
already
out. It's out.
Yeah, the first DLC is already out for the game. Like, there's a lot of content in this game. So if you haven't, I truly recommend Tiny Tina's.
Bro, it's crazy. They making me a Borderlands fiend again. They making me a Wonderlands fiend.
I literally like I shit you not. When I take like a 5 minute or like a 10 minute break, I'll run and do like a dungeon real fast and like come out like that's what I wanted from Borderlands 3. I wanted to consistently play the game, and this is giving me Diablo feels of like
Mm-hmm.
I'm super down to going into this game and grinding out like slaughterhouses and grinding stuff out just to get things because it's a fun game to play and it's easy to get things done.
No, 100%, 100%, and the entire game just makes it that much smoother, and I'm having a blast with it. I can't even front with you. I can't wait for us to play again. Honestly,
No,
I'm
for
again.
sure.
I'm thinking about doing side missions by myself and just souping on my character and getting there. So when I come back and we just straight, we just go in there and knock some heads, bro.
Go
Like,
for it. We could even set up if we need to. We could set up like a level cap.
nah, for real, for real. I'm down to up the difficulty. Honestly, I'm like, if we can, bro. We rolled into that one area. We was like 3 levels above
Might
below,
as
and
well.
we was getting it done.
It was taking us forever. We were getting it done.
It was. It definitely was,
It
though.
was a
Yeah, I'm not
lot of
gonna lie.
bullets.
Not to mention, yeah. Nah, I'm not gonna lie to you there. It's true. But yeah, man, that's all we have for the show today, man. Any closing remarks? WenEazy.
Make sure you pre-order them games, yo, because June's looking crazy. September's looking crazy. It's gonna be a crazy year, so make sure you save up your money. Stay hydrated, stay safe, and enjoy what you have.
Facts. Hey, my closing remarks would definitely have to be watch Moon Knight if you haven't, you know what I'm saying? Bootleg it if you need to. Allegedly. Make sure you drink your water, tell your people you love them, you know what I'm saying? Do what you gotta do to live your life and have a good ass day, have a good ass weekend. There's so much good stuff going on. Please pray for me because Arsenal play Manchester United and I might cry and have a nervous breakdown at 7:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. Life is going to possibly hurt if we do not win that game. So, you know what I'm saying? I need your energy. Come on. I need it. But yeah, otherwise, make sure you follow all the social channels. First and foremost, this channel that you're watching live right now, if you are watching live recording, Wotaku channel, WOTAKU channel on YouTube. WenEazy just dropped a fire ass video talking about Gundam Evolution, so make sure y'all check that out. Check out his YouTube channel. Check out all socials at WenEazy, at Wotaku channel, at No Cooldown Pod, at ThatManTripp on all social channels and on YouTube. Make sure you go lock in with all of us, man. Lock in with Growth as well. Lock in with, what is it? What are we? All for Growth? All for Growth on Twitter?
Let me double check. I believe it is All for Growth.
I believe we are All for Growth on Twitter.
At All for Growth.
Yes, at All for Growth on Twitter as well. Check out the crew. We doing big things. We got a lot of stuff coming in the next couple weeks, man. Y'all get locked in with all of us. And with that being said, episode 19 is done. No Cooldown is gone.